He was living in a nightmare.
He didn't deserve what he went through. He didn't deserve it.
Carlos Collins' family says the red flags were there.
He basically stalked him.
His ex-boyfriend caught on Ring camera lurking near his apartment, but nobody expected him to shoot Carlos dead at his apartment, then use an axe to finish killing him.
Immediately, I thought Marcus.
The ex-boyfriend, a former police officer, is now in police custody himself, but shocking revelations in court. The murder was caught on Ring camera.
And it's just crushing me to, have to watch his final moments.
Why his family says police dropped the ball. The restraining orders didn't work.
Just surprised that it happened in this way.
A prominent lawyer stepping into the shade room about it and what we all really need to do to protect ourselves from this kind of violence.
It's ridiculous. It should never happen.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. You could tell that Carlos Collins loved life just by looking at his social media. And it was also reflected in his work as well as a nurse. And he was a favorite amongst his patients and his colleagues. But all that light was dimmed when he met 33-year-old Marcus Johnson at a nightclub in 2022. After a year of dating, his family says they broke up. And then Collins started to notice a pattern of odd behavior that eventually took a deadly turn. He was living in...
All right, so what's good, y'all? Back with another one at Say So TV. If you're new here, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe and keep up with your boy. It's your favorite Bob boy. How couldn't you? You know what I'm saying? So today, I'm definitely getting ready to go ahead and get right on into it with this. Basically, part 2 to sleeping with the enemy. Anytime something like this happens in our community with one of ours, bisexual black man, gay black man, I'm going to cover it. And that's going to be the series of sleeping with the enemy. Any of these domestic violence situations, fatal attraction situations in our community, I'm going to cover it. That's what it's going to be. So, speaking from somebody who has actually been in a lot of different domestic violence situations, from the age of 25 and down, it was a lot going on for me. So I definitely can relate to this kind of circumstance that this would just happen with Carlos. Rest in peace, Carlos. I did not know who he was. I had never met him, but I know that he looked familiar, and I know certain people who have known of him, so it's not too far-fetched, but y'all get what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I can relate. Let's go ahead and get right on into it, man. So first, this is a very sad story. Rest in peace to him, and love goes out to his family and loved ones. Nobody should have to lose nobody like this. This is also a way that I have been in fear of being in a circumstance like this on either end of it, honestly. Because relationships in our community are very tedious. Like, you can make one wrong move, it seems like, or it's not going to work. Or 9 times out of 10, when it doesn't work out, y'all end up becoming like ops or enemies where y'all will never speak again. And then if y'all do, it'll be like years later or something like that. So a lot of our breakups are way more toxic way more like heartfelt and toxic feeling than a straight relationship. Any straight relationship that I've ever been in, because at least women, they try their best to make relationships work. Men, a lot of the time, I find they be the ones that's like, they'll be quick to leave out on a relationship because of this, how much accessibility. They think that they got so many options. They think that there's so many dudes around the corner that are just ready to get down, and they didn't have all these dudes on their nuts. They take that to their head. They think that, that there's actually something out there that they're missing out on all the time. So I have actually been through something similar to it. I actually had a stalker, everything. So when I heard about this story, it really gave me chills, because I was like, dang, that really could have been me before, because I definitely had a stalker. I think he still is on the lurk, but now he just literally watches me. However, I wasn't deep in doubt with this person as for a whole year like Carlos was. I was only dealing with this person for maybe like I consider it like 3 weeks, but they'll consider it whatever because it was off and on. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my story time on that, but first let me just tell y'all exactly what my opinion is on the Carlos situation. So honestly, y'all, this is another reason why I stay dangerous. All right, I had a homeboy told me, a big bro, when I was 18, when I got in this community, he told me straight up. He said, if you are either a pretty girl, a bad bitch, or a gay dude, or a dude in this community, I should say, you need to know how to fight and you need to have a gun. All right, straight up, because you're gonna get tried all the time, and then stalkers, all that. So just to put that out there, this is why I stay dangerous. All right, because I would never allow no dude to make them think that they can come in, or you know what? You know, I can't even really say that because from what this was something that was blind-eyed and you never would expect it. So Carlos could have really never done it. He could have done everything right and still this went the left way. So let me just go ahead and give y'all my story time on this that's relatable. About 2018, 2019, I had started talking to this dude that was like a few years younger than me. He was in the church heavy. He was a church dude. This is another reason why I don't really like church dudes because I feel like it's a contradiction to our lifestyle, but that's another topic. Dude was a church dude and he was a Scorpio. That's really all I know about him. This is another reason why I really didn't care. Or on my horoscope video, I said Scorpios and Leos just not a match. Or after this, I just didn't want to do it no more because it was really giving the You vibes off of, the You series on Netflix where dude was stalking no girl and everything. All right, let me just tell y'all what happened. I started dealing with this dude. I probably smashed him 2-3 times. I did hang out with him often. I let him come over to my crib a lot. And probably like within 3 months of this going off and on thing, and he wasn't my boyfriend, nothing. It never was a relationship. But after about 3 months of that, basically, I used to work for a nonprofit organization. If y'all been following me, y'all know where I would be a host for a LGBT center next door to a clinic. So I would, outreach, have a lot of guys come, get resources, hang out, whatever, and just, promote positivity, mental health, safe sex, all that. And so he was one of the guys that I had come through. But this was the first one that I actually had smashed, and I should have never smashed him, but I learned my lesson the hard way because basically I smashed this dude, and I was working at this job for over 4 years. I smashed this dude twice, only 2 times. Wasn't no intimate relationship. We wasn't like planning no future. It wasn't no he wasn't living with me, none of that. He ended up starting some stuff with my coworkers, basically talking to one of my coworkers about me on the low, to where I saw him call him, and I was like, "Why is my coworker calling you?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." So I'm like, "Whatever." He didn't want to tell me, so I went to work and I asked my coworker. I said, "So what's up with you? Hitting up old boy, or I didn't even know that y'all had a connection." He's like, "Yeah." He was calling me, venting to me about you, wanting to know if he was wrong and all this other stuff about certain stuff, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, wait a minute, what? I've been dealing with this dude. Like, to me, it was like 3 weeks to me, but I'm just like, wait a minute, what? Like, he was like a fuck buddy, So I'm just like, wait a minute, my fuck buddy hitting on my coworker. Nah, bro. I was like, something ain't adding up. This ain't right. Something about dude, that was a huge red flag right there because it was just like, you don't be messy like that, or you don't start inappropriate relationships with my coworkers and you're a nigga that I'm fucking with, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm fucking on. And I got you coming around my job, which it wasn't permitted that I couldn't, have any relations with nobody, but it was just professionalism. I wasn't trying to go there. But he wasn't even coming to my job like that, so it was just like, it wasn't like I was really crossing those lines too bad, But if that's what you're gonna say I did wrong, I did do that wrong. So basically I cut dude off after that. And this wasn't the only thing that the problem was, but that was just like the camo on the back. He was always lying and stuff. So I just went ahead after that I went ahead and cut him off. It was just a big red flag to me. So then y'all tell me, man, I tell y'all, kid y'all not, I promise you to God, I never thought that anybody would ever do this to me. This dude just started like literally like calling on my group members, calling on my friends, starting stuff, sending out text messages, acting like he's me from a text now number, talking all this stuff, talking about like making up stuff, just spreading rumors, talking stuff, being weird. To where my group members just hit me up and they just like, hey bro, is this you? Like, I know this ain't you. My homeboy Sean, rest in peace by the way. My homeboy Sean, this nigga hit me up and was like, hey, bro, I know this ain't you. Like, and me and Sean go way back, so he knew that what it was. And how he cracked it, it was like he was like, I was thinking that this like was somebody else because I knew it wasn't you, little bro, but I know who it is. It's that dude. What am I gonna call him? I'm gonna call him Snake. I'm gonna call him Snakey. I'm gonna call him Snake. He was like, it's that dude Snake, because his name started with an S. So he was like, it's that dude Snake. I know it. I was like, I know, bro, but how you know? Because everybody else is acting like they don't know what it is, and like they thinking that I'm possibly doing this and sending out these weird messages and stuff to everybody. He was like, nah, it's Snake because I know, because I used to fuck with him, and he was texting me from this number, and he forgot that this is the same text now number he was hitting me up on a year ago. And we stopped talking, and he hit me up on here again talking about you and making it like it was you. And he was like, I know that it's him because I was talking to him on this same number over a year ago. And so I was just like, wow, bro, for real. I was like, so thank you. I was like, you the first person that can actually co-sign on this. Tell me why y'all after that, I ain't do nothing. I was just like, well, whatever. I told my job or whatever, but I was like, whatever. He ain't getting ready to be on nothing else because I done caught this nigga. I let it be known that I caught him. That the cat's at the bag. You trying to discredit me and destroy me at my job. You trying to get me like in trouble with my job because I don't want to mess with you no more. So then he'll come up to my job bringing me flowers and stuff. This is why I said if a person bring you flowers, if a nigga bring you flowers, leave him alone. A nigga that brings you flowers ain't shit. I only got flowers whenever it was a sorry, I fucked up type of thing. I don't like flower gifts at all. And so here, I'm about to light up on this one too. And so he would do all this stuff, and I'm just, like ignoring him, just dismissing him, like whatever, man, just moving around, thank you for the flowers, all right, cool, but I'm still not trying to talk to you, move around. Like I was being adamant about that. I wasn't playing no games with him, leading him on, nothing. So then all that wasn't working, and all of a sudden this dude started like writing notes and putting it down. Okay, so this is when I lived in an apartment where it was a 1-bedroom apartment, but it had a garage on the bottom. So I literally had a garage attached to my apartment, right? So I would go downstairs to my car, get in my car and shit, and there would be like notes on the outside of my garage, and like I would just see who it was, I'll rip them up, throw them away. I'm thinking at first it's just like, oh, there's just a dude that's really like, oh, he's obsessed with me. Like I'm not a stranger to that because it's happening, but not in in the acute magnitude like this, where dudes will leave stuff on my doorstep, food and everything for me. Like it's not unnormal. So I was like, okay, cool. He just obsessed with me, right? So then by this time I had already moved on. This is when I was I ain't gonna keep saying his, well, I guess I could say it again. This is when I was with Shaq, right? This is when me and him first got together. So I noticed after that, that's when he started turning up on all this. He knew that I had a boyfriend. All of a sudden, he starts coming around, like walking by my door, like walking up under my balcony, because I lived on the 3rd floor, so I could see this nigga walking under my balcony all the time. Like, and he claimed that like it would be like I had told this nigga, well, I would see him, right, and then I wouldn't say nothing because I was just ignoring him. Like I wasn't feeding into it at all. Finally, like he would start like yelling up at the balcony, throwing shit, rocks up at the balcony, trying to get me and my ex's attention and shit. Talking about, hey y'all bitch ass niggas, like both y'all, I'm gonna beat both y'all ass, and then he'll run off and shit, like doing weird stuff, right? So then we'll both get up and come outside and like be looking and all that. And like, at first Shaq thought it was funny. He's like, haha, this nigga mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was at first. And then it kept happening throughout like 6, 7 months, y'all. I promise y'all. Like, it didn't stop. Like, he just kept, he would just keep walking by and I would just be like, okay, whatever. He just wants me to see him so bad. Like, and I would just ignore him. And then all of a sudden he started up in the ante. He started coming up to my door, and you had to have a key to get into the building. And so he was like, find a way to get up into my building, come up to my door, and leave. And like one time, like he would leave notes or whatever, and I would never read them. I just throw them away. And then he would. One time he had took my doormat, and I came out and I was like, thought something was weird, but I didn't think. I'm talking about y'all. This was happening throughout months, so he would take 2 months off, and then all of a sudden here he comes again. So I'm be thinking, oh, this nigga done, he ain't, my stalker's getting gave up or whatever. Nah, he'll come back 2, 3 months later. And so one time I came out, my doormat was missing. I didn't think much of it. I go down to my car. Why my doormat is in front of my garage? And so I was like, oh, this nigga really, oh, he not gonna respect me, because when he got yelled off on the balcony one day and we came out to the door, when he had threw a rock up at the window and made us get up and come out there to see what was up, I told him then, I said, hey nigga, don't you ever bring your ass around here no more. I've been letting you slide. I said, don't ever bring your ass around here no more, or else it's gonna be a problem. I'm not playing with you. So I'm thinking that he gonna leave me the fuck alone. Why the fuck? My mom and my little brother came out to visit me for a minute. Why? We get ready to leave one night. He hadn't showed up for a second at this point. While we get ready to leave one night, we go down to my car, get in the garage, get in the car, and then I'm pulling out the garage. And as soon as I pull out the garage and I bust a left, this nigga, all I hear is, hey, bitch ass nigga, hey, bitch ass nigga. And so I was like, what the fuck? So I'm looking all around. I don't see nobody. All of a sudden, I see this nigga. He got his car pulled over on the side in front of the entrance, keeping us from getting out. Boy, I'm thinking to myself, this nigga don't know me. He don't know nothing about me. Like, he's a new gay. Like, you could tell that this nigga's young as fuck. Like, any nigga that's my age knows that you don't fuck with me. I'm not the one to play with. I'm a lion. I ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of like appalled, because I'm not appalled, but I'm just kind of like, is this nigga serious? Does he not know? Like, especially now you're disturbing my peace, and now you're just disrespecting me in front of my moms too, nigga. Your ass is grass now. I told him straight up right then and there. I got out, I stopped, pulled over the car. I told him right then and there. He had a bottle in his hand. I didn't even realize that this nigga had a Corona bottle that was cut. Like, he had broke the bottle and it was just the half of the bottle in his hand, right? This nigga was gonna try to cut me. I didn't even realize that until Shaq had told me, like, the nigga had a what's name, and then my brother recorded the little moment when I pulled over on the side, and I was like, what's up, nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? My brother recorded it. So he got the video, and I see that the nigga had a bottle in his hand, but because I'm so not giving a fuck, I didn't even notice that this nigga had a bottle in his hand. I was ready to fight. I was trying to figure out why they wouldn't let me fight this nigga. Like, my mom but then I was like, when my mom got in and, told me to chill out, I stopped chilling out. But Shaq and my brother was trying to hold me back at first. I was going to get this nigga. But then my mom was like, nah, just calm down. Just let's go. Let's just go. So I was like, all right, cool. You lucky you got saved, like, because my mama's here. You know what I'm saying? But then that also really gave me that's when I was like, oh, nah, like, nah. Like, this is first of all, this is my home. Now you just disrespecting me in front of my fam and everything. Like, nah, I can't let this slide. I told him right then and there when I was getting in the car, I said, hey, I know I told you before, but this is your last warning. I said, if I even see you over here no more, I said, I don't care if you walk in from wherever over here. I said, make another detour, because if I ever see you again over here, your ass is grass, and I'm not playing with you, cuz. So he just was talking shit or whatever and drove off, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I saw that video after I played it back and everything. I'm like, this nigga had a bottle in his hand too? I went and hit it, told my job, like, hey, this person needs to be banned. He been harassing me for months. He also sent out mass text messages trying to get here, but like he been really trying to destroy me here. He was trying to do the whole narcissistic, covert, like, ruin my reputation thing, and when he realized that wasn't gonna work, then that's when he started resorting to the violence and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, all right, well, hey, he got the right one because he don't even know who the fuck he fucking with. Like, I've been trying to save him. I've been trying to spare him all this time. But now it's done. It got to the point where it was so bad after this because I didn't see him no more after this because I started working at the dispensary right next door to my house. So I wouldn't see him no more. And then, and this is when I had two jobs. I was at the clinic and the dispensary. So I didn't see him no more, but Shaq would see this nigga. And to the point where I would get home from work and Shaq would tell me, like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get a weapon because your ex keeps walking by here. Like, he would call him my ex when he wasn't, but he thought he was my ex because he was so obsessed with me. He was like, because he keeps walking by here and, you know, it's making me uncomfortable. And when I was walking to the store or walking to the 7-Eleven down the street, across the street the other day, I saw him and it just made me uncomfortable because I don't know what this nigga gonna do, you know, because he had already pulled up on us, you know what I'm saying? So Shaq had to get a pocket knife just to, you know, defend himself just in case this dude was gonna be on something. So now you interfere with my relationship, got my dude scared. All this, I was like, yeah. After that, when he told me that, I was like, all right, he got him a pocket knife and everything. I was like, all right, cool. Since this nigga's like he's embarking himself on us so much, when I see this nigga again, I'm just gonna beat this nigga up, like straight up. So, y'all, one day I was working at the dispensary. I had got off, boy. I had got off and like I had my, so I had my money, I had my Ziploc bag on my tips that day. So I was getting off. My apartment was right. Okay, so the dispensary's right here. My apartment's right here, and there's a long sidewalk on the side of the road. I saw this nigga walking down the street from my like from on the side, like where my apartment was. So we're literally walking, like I'm right here, he's right here, and we're walking like this towards each other on the sidewalk. But he's all the way down there. So my entrance to my apartment was like a little in front of where he was. So he saw me, but I don't know if he saw me, but I made sure I hurried up and juked over into the complex as soon as I could. And I ran upstairs, nigga. I was like, hey, baby, because I didn't want him to see me because I didn't want this nigga to get away straight up. Because I was like, you didn't want to be away when I allowed you to be. Now you about to get the treatment all these other niggas got when I got beef with them. All right. And you don't want to be that because I'm not the type of person that just, I don't just defend myself. Like I attack people. I will hurt. I will like, I'm not that person, all right? So, yeah, I hurried up, ran upstairs, like, all right. I was like, hey, come on, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. Like, get your shit. This nigga's walking right now. We about to get this nigga. He was like, all right, come on, cool. He's like, let me get this nigga first. Like, cause like at this point, he was like pissed off at the fact that like he was fucking with us so much, and then he would be at the house while I'd be at work. So he would see this nigga all the time. So he was just like, yeah, let me get this nigga first. So I was like, all right, cool. So we hop in the car, we get in the garage, hop in the car, and we ride around. And so we kind of watched this nigga as he walked from from the apartment street to the main street, and he bust a left on Colfax on the busiest street. So then we pull around to the churches that's right there on Colfax that I could get. We hurried up and jumped in front of this nigga. And parked the car, right? So then we get out. And we get off on and over, like basically we parked the car right up in front of where this nigga was walking to make sure that we ran right in, like he walked right into us. We get out the car, and I was clever as fuck. I'm thinking like, all right, well I got my 30-day tag because I had just got a new car, and so I was like, well I got my 30-day tags, so if I'm gonna do anything, this is the time to do it because I don't have my actual official tags yet and shit. So I was like, let's just take the damn 30-day tag off, pull around over there. So we took the tag off the car and everything, rode over there just in case this nigga tried to do some police shit because we already knew what he was on. We pull over there, park the car, get out, wait for this nigga to walk up. As soon as this nigga walk up, we hopped out right on this nigga. This nigga was so shocked. I'm talking about this nigga was listening. He had his headphones in or something. I don't know what the fuck. This nigga opened his eyes up, saw us, and was like, oh shit. He was like, oh. He was like, don't touch me, something like that. And so my ex-boy, my dude at the time, he's walking up on a nigga. They're basically like, you know, like he steps back, you know, the stalker, Snake, he snaps back and he's starting to square up because he see what we on. I said, I told you don't fucking come over by my house no more. I told you that, right? I said, I told you not to make sure I don't ever see you again, right? I told you that, right? He's like, no, don't touch me, don't touch me. We're on the busiest street. Okay, I'm talking about cars flying right here next to us. Like, there's a bar right here, crackheads across the street. Like, I'm talking about, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I said, I told you not to come by my crib no more. I told you don't let me see you no more. He was like, yeah, don't touch me. I'm waiting on Shaq to just, steal off on him because you said you wanted to get him first. So I'm going to let Shaq go ahead and get him first. Because once I get it, that's it, So I was like, I'm going to let you have your fun with him first. They going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like, Snake's backing up, stepping up, backing up. Shaq's backing up, stepping up. Like, they squaring up, like, right? To where the motherfuckers across the street, they're like, oh, shit. So I'm standing there. I pulled my phone out because I was getting ready to just go ahead and record, right? But then I was like, Shaq was just being way too hesitant. And I'm just like, oh, nigga, is you scared? Like, you scared of this nigga, cuz? Like, okay, cool. So I went ahead and put my motherfucking phone in my pocket. These niggas keep, I gave it one more second, Shaq to go ahead and get him. I'm like, go ahead, get him. He wasn't doing nothing. These niggas just squaring up. And then this nigga gets to talking shit. Snake gets to talking shit, right? Starting to feel confident about himself. I said, oh, yeah. Shaq was literally, they was just doing this or whatever. A nigga, I ran straight up on that nigga, grabbed that nigga by his shit. Because he had hair. I grabbed that nigga by his shit and got to whooping. I pulled that nigga straight down in between my legs, y'all. And I was just whooping his ass. And I got the nigga pulled down, right? Got him like snatched down right there. And I'm like, kick him, baby, kick him. So Shaq starts kicking him and shit. Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like, we jumped him, right? And so the people across the street start yelling like, hey, get off him, get off him, get off him. And then like this bitch comes out the bar and she's like, stop. And it's during the daytime. I'm thinking the sun was going down, but it was still, the sun was out, And so, no, we don't stop. Shaq stops. So Shaq backs up after everybody gets to noticing and stuff. I still got this nigga, dragging this nigga by his dreads, y'all. Like, dragging this nigga. And I'm just, bow, nigga. I told you not to fucking come around here no more, didn't I? I'm fucking him up, talking shit to him the whole time. And so, after I felt like it was enough, when the commotion got too loud, when everybody was so scared for him, I went on ahead and just let the nigga go. And then we hurried up and got in the car. Because every time I fight, as soon as I get done fighting, I head straight to the car. I'm not hanging around. I'm not getting arrested for fighting, period. All right. So, hurried up, got in the car, juked out. We out of there. Me and that nigga was laughing like a motherfucker. Like, we had so much fun, had good sex after that. Like, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Not even gonna cap. And so, after that, why the fuck did the police come knock on my door? So, we up there, and I'm like, all right, cool. We just gonna go ahead and open the door, because I usually don't even open the door for police after I done did something, because I already know what they on, and, honestly, I already know the law, too. If you don't get caught at the scene, they have to get a lawyer, file a police report, and all this other stuff, okay? So, the police come, they was like, so, we're just here because this person said that you attacked them, that y'all attacked them, and y'all jumped him, and he's in the hospital. They showed me pictures and everything. They showed me pictures of this nigga. Even like other people were sending me the pictures of this nigga while he was laid up in the hospital, and this nigga didn't have nothing but like he was swollen on the face, been like probably like a busted lip, or like his nose was swollen, but he wasn't like beat up badly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, this nigga is so like. It was giving thin line between love and hate, old girl, that, yeah. So, I'm just like, man, whatever. I denied everything. I was like, nah, we didn't even fight him. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't even know who he is, all this other stuff. And so, they were like, well, until they said, well, I didn't say I didn't know who he was. That would have been a bold-faced lie. That could have got me caught. So, I did admit to knowing who he was and everything, but we did deny fighting him. And I was just like, he's been stalking me all this time. He made this up, but blase, because it wasn't far-fetched. Even though, like, that part wasn't made up, all the other stuff that he was doing and saying before that was made up. So I had that right. So they were like, well, the reason why we're also concerned is because he says that this is his residence. I said, what? And I'm talking about, y'all, this is my apartment. This ain't even Shaq's apartment. This is mine. I'm the only one on the lease. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what? This nigga does not live here. They're like, well, that's what he said. And, you know, we just want to let you know that, you know, it's just basically they told me like if I needed to do self-defense, like after I told them all that, and they was like, okay, well, we have the report and everything. And I showed them, they was like, does he get mail here or anything? I was like, no, he doesn't get mail here. He never lived here. Like, he had never lived with me. Like, I would give it to you. If I had been smashed on a dude, he had been laid up under me for about a month or two, I'll keep it real and just be like, yeah, like, it just didn't work out and the nigga went crazy. Nah, like, this is a nigga, like, he was coming over. He was staying with his people. He was coming over every now and then. And we weren't even smashing like that, but I guess I could see where he would think that it was going to be something if we wasn't smashing like that and he was coming over. I was really just fucking bored at the time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he was just convenient. Like, it wasn't really nothing. And so, yeah, he told the police that he lived with me and everything. So after that, they told me if I had to defend myself, if he came back around, that they have a report, and if I had to, you know, basically if I had to defend myself in any way possible, if I had to end up hurting this dude, taking this dude out, then, you know, they would have the report to back me up. So after that, y'all, he continued to do, like, he never walked by my house again, though. And that's why I just want to kind of branch off of that. After that, though, he had kind of went to the wayside, but I could tell that he was still stalking me because I would get random messages and stuff like that. So he didn't let up, but he let off to where he knew I wasn't the one to be playing with like that no more. That's why I say I like to stay dangerous, because, like, after that, he never walked by my house no more. I never seen him walk by my house no more. So it was just kind of like, okay, cool. Once you let people know that you're not that one, but now seeing this case with the Carlos case, I honestly would say that I don't think that he could have done anything, because this was an ex-police officer. Plus, he was lying so much, and he had already put a Ring camera outside of his door to watch him. Now, that's next level. My stalker wasn't doing all that. But let me just go ahead and say this real quick. I don't know if this pertains to Carlos and old boy's situation, but I will say this: if y'all are getting in relationships or being serious with people and lasting a whole year with them just to decide to go ahead and get back out in the streets, or decide that you're not ready yet, or to decide that you know, you need to work on yourself or whatever, it's a year is too long to do that. You need to have that figured out within 6 months. Okay? I feel like if he didn't do the whole year with this dude, that might have changed this up a bit, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. A year in a gay relationship feels a long time. That's how long me and my dude been together now. Okay? So I don't know how he broke up with him, but I'm telling you, if he broke up with him on some real shady shit, on some ghosting shit, blocking and never want to speak to him again shit, everybody can't handle that. Like I said in the beginning of the video, that's how most gay relationships end, and that's how they usually go. But everybody can't ain't accustomed to having somebody around them every single day for a whole year, and then just cold turkey never seeing them again. So just to say that, but I don't know if that pertains to them. He might have broke up with him because of cheating. He noticed that this dude was crazy and he let him go. Who knows? But I just wanted to put that out there, just to keep us safe, you know, because you're not always going to be able to have a gun, not always going to be able to fight. Just stop playing with people's emotions and hearts so that you can alleviate the possibility of this as well, okay? So that's just throw that out there. But in this case, it really does seem as if there wasn't really much that he could have done. It seemed like dude was he was really sick, because the report said that he had been lying for years about his status as a police officer and all kinds of stuff. So if he was a scammer and all that, that means that he was highly toxic, highly mentally ill, and all that. And it might be hard to pinpoint that in the beginning of a relationship, because I do still consider a year the beginning. So it may be hard to pinpoint that. So there really isn't much to really say what he could have done to prevent it, besides I know that there had to be issues within 6 months. There had to be signs within 6 months. Don't y'all waste no whole year with nobody that you know what I'm saying, that's possibly crazy. If you seeing signs that's really not adding up, now his gaslighting and his love bombing might have been on 10, and he might have really faked and acted like somebody else all the way up until that last point where he broke over him and then showed his true colors after the relationship was over. So that could have been true too. So there might not have really been anything that he could have done to prevent this. He did go with the restraining order. Oh, I did that as well. I tried that after. Oh, I tried that before we actually beat him up. I went up to the courthouse, tried to get a restraining order, and they told me I was going to have to pay for it. Told me I was going to have to pay a fine, like pay a fee for the restraining order, and I had to go to court and shit. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not getting ready to do all this just to put a restraining order against somebody. Like, they want to know why. They want to know, like, if it's, like, it's just too much. It ain't nothing but for just a piece of paper that's not even going to protect you for real. Because at the end of the day, basically what I was saying was in the beginning is that you need to be able to protect yourself. Don't depend on no police. Don't depend on, you know, like the law to have your back in every situation. The law can also show up 10 minutes after you already gone. You need to make sure that you can defend yourself physically, and you need to have you a piece. I feel like every grown man, especially if you're a bachelor and you single, you need to have you a piece around. Because you never know. Somebody could break in. You are still by yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a man. You're still by yourself most of the time, especially if you're single. All right? So everybody needs to definitely have them a piece. And y'all need to know how to fight. All this, oh, I'm too cute to fight. Oh, fighting is childish. Oh, I'm too old to fight. Miss me. I don't give a damn. I'm going to be fighting until I can't fight no more. Nigga, I'll be 60 years old whooping somebody's ass if they try me. I'm not playing. I don't give a fuck. I'm not the one. All right? That's the energy y'all need to have. Because this is just to defend yourself at the end of the day. Ain't nothing childish about defending yourself. So, yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it that I got to say about it. Rest in peace to Carlos. Or he should have kept people around him. Now that I think about it, he should have kept people around him. He should have had his friends staying the night, or he should have went and stayed at his friends or his families. If you got family right there in the city and they can get on here on your news report and talk about you, why come you couldn't go stay with them during this time, like, to make sure that you was straight or whatever? Like, if you already had to put a restraining order out against him and he had a key to your crib, if he was able to come up in there and rearrange stuff and let it be known that he had been in your crib while you was at work, bruh should have definitely took higher precaution in this. He kind of took it a little too light, or he just didn't believe that this could ever happen, like any of, like all of us, you know what I'm saying? But oh, and also be careful messing with people who have their concealed carry license, like, because that means they always can be armed. So be careful with that too. And don't play with people's feelings, because this is that worst outcome. A lot of people think, you know, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't about that life. He ain't on nothing. I can do this. I can ghost him. He gonna be like every other dude. He gonna be on my nuts trying to figure out another way because I done blocked him. He gonna try to figure out another way to contact me. Like, y'all be thinking toxicity is so cute. Y'all be thinking it's so cute to try to push somebody all the way to the end to feed your ego or whatever. I'm not saying that that's what he did in this case. I'm just saying, I know that this happens a lot, but what really bothered me about this case, that really cringed me, is the fact that he shot dude and then took an axe to cut him up. Now that was demented and evil, and you never know what you really around. You never know what enemy you around. Like, you really be sleeping with the enemy sometime and never know. I know that. Just looking back a year and some change ago, to think about the person that I was sleeping next to, and I'm like, oh my God, my life was in danger and I didn't even know it. A lot of us don't ever believe that this stuff will happen to us, so we don't take the precaution to protect ourselves. But let this be a wake-up call to let it be known that this can happen to you. Like, this was just right next door. It doesn't matter if you're in Houston, if you're in New York, if you're in Cali. Even though that this was in Atlanta, this was just next door to you, straight up. That's how you need to look at it. All right? So, that's it for this one, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.
No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say. No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say. Baby, how much I really take?